How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid, which was down 2.52% on the day. But one thing that we saw that was happening inside of the after hours, Tesla ended up crushing earnings. So are we going to see some momentum coming into the EV sector for the next trading day? We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important, because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $20.87, being down 2.52%. On the low, it tested $20.61, and then on the high, testing $21.29. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 13.806 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 19.083 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and we also seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 38.60. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And it's clear to see that Lucid has been on a strong downtrend, trading below all of our major moving averages, which puts it in a bear market. So as far as what we see on the low, it was at $20.61 in regard to support. We closed at $20.87. So if you want to see a bullish move from Lucid going into tomorrow or even today if you're catching the recording, then we want to see actually some price action above $21.50. If we can get above $21.50, then the next level you do want to look out for will be at $22.35, and then seeing if it could reclaim the 21-day EMA at $22.92. Again, this is the bullish case scenario for Lucid. Now, if it decides to consolidate, which is very possible, and I talked about that in the previous video, you want to see it consolidate between the high $19 range, so $19.60 and above, and also being at the most at the top of $22. And if it does decide to break down even further, then you really want to see support holding up at 20 bucks, because if it doesn't hold up at $20, then we know we'll start testing into the 19.80 area, and if that level does break, we could see Lucid getting down to $19. So let's see how the stock performs going into tomorrow, and let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings here, we have for April 20th, we have Selective Wealth Management that purchased 1,242 shares. And then we also have Belvedere Trading LLC that purchased 14,970 shares. And we also have Harbor Investment Advisors that purchased 1,520. We also have a closed position from Belvedere Trading LLC in regards to puts. And then we also have PMC Diversified Equity that purchased 14,632 shares. And we have Sigma Planning Corp that purchased 26,309 shares. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 53.64%, and then for the off-exchange short volume being just over 3.85 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 0, updated 22 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 3.17%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 18th, it was at 60.41, and then for the close close of the 19th being at 53.64. So there's a lot of interest on the short side, and it also does have short squeeze potential due to the fact that the short interest percentage of the flow is right at 18.70%. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see here on the inflows at 56.42 million, and then on the outflows at 38.39 million. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 4.56 million, on the medium it was 33.22 million, and then on the small it was 18.64 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 21.95 million, and then on the small it was 16.44 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, April the 20th, we had that inflow of 4.56 million, and then for the 19th, seeing a big inflow of 9.79 million. And then when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, it represents whales, institutions, and funds. Of course, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 0.84%. So this is not too bad whatsoever. Many inside of Lucid are continuing to hold on to their positions. And we also do see whales have been loading up on shares for the past 2 trading days. So this definitely does make things interesting. So let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, when it comes to the price action, if you're looking for a bullish move to the upside, it needs to reclaim $23. This is very crucial. But first, we have to get above $22. And that's why I was saying, could Tesla actually be the sympathy play to get the EV sector moving and Lucid benefiting? That's why I would say keep it on your watch list, because this is a strong possibility. But if it doesn't happen, then you want to see Lucid being able to hold up $20.50. The moment it breaks to this level, that's where we can start revisiting back at $19.80. And if we pull back even more, again, this is where long-term investors, I would highly suggest you give this stock some consideration. Do your homework, do your due diligence. As far as for this week, like I said, the best case scenario is seeing Lucid staying above $20 as support, but if not, you already know what to expect. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see some interest from institutions. And then also when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. But there's one thing that we cannot forget here. Even though the sentiment has changed, the stock has been selling off, whales have been loading up with their positions. And we saw this from the order flow. So that's why I'm saying, if we end up having some more buying coming into the tech and we have a strong move to the upside, I feel Lucid could benefit from this and we could start seeing some sort of a run. Again, I am not guaranteeing this for this week. We still have some more volatile markets ahead, earnings coming out, but with Tesla putting out some solid numbers, I think this bodes well for the market overall as far as moving forward with other anticipated earnings from big tech companies. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see how Lucid performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.